Somewhere beneath the dry plains of modern-day Pakistan, a city sleeps. Not a small city, not a village, a city of 40,000 people, with streets wider than most roads we drive on today, with indoor plumbing, with sewage systems so advanced that archaeologists couldn't believe what they were seeing. And this city was not alone. There were hundreds of them, stretching across 2 million square kilometers, home to 5 million people. And then one day, they were gone. No war, no plague, no bodies, no explanation. Just silence. The year is 2600 BC, while Egypt is building pyramids and Mesopotamia is carving laws into stone tablets. Something extraordinary is happening in the Indus Valley. A civilization is emerging that will become the largest in the ancient world. They called their greatest city Mohenjo-daro, the Mound of the Dead. Even the name feels like a warning. At its peak, Mohenjo-daro housed 40,000 people. Its streets were laid out in a perfect grid, mathematically precise, like someone had planned the entire city before a single brick was laid. Every house had access to clean water. Every house had a drainage system connected to a city-wide sewage network. This was not matched anywhere in the world for another 3,000 years. They had standardized weights and measurements across every city. They had a writing system, a script we still cannot read to this day. Think about that. A language spoken by 5 million people, and we have no idea what a single word means. They were not primitive. They were not simple. They were extraordinary, and they vanished. When British archaeologists first excavated Mohenjo-daro in the 1920s, they expected to find what they always found: signs of conquest, burned buildings, broken walls, mass graves. They found none of that. What they found was stranger. The city appeared to have simply emptied. Homes were abandoned mid-life, tools left on tables, grain still stored in granaries, as if every single person woke up one morning, walked out of their front door, and never came back. No invading army, no evidence of disease, no catastrophic fire, just absence. The theories came quickly. Some said climate change, that a shift in monsoon patterns slowly dried up the rivers the civilization depended on. Others pointed to tectonic shifts, earthquakes that rerouted rivers, flooded cities, made the land uninhabitable. Some even suggested invasion, that an unknown force swept through and drove 5 million people from their homes. But here is the problem with every single one of these theories. None of them explain the silence. Civilizations under threat leave evidence. They fight back. They flee in panic. They bury their dead. They write on walls. The Indus Valley people left nothing. No final messages, no mass burials, no battlefields, no monuments to what was lost. It is as if they decided, collectively, quietly, to simply cease to exist. Here is what keeps archaeologists awake at night. The decline of the Indus Valley Civilization was not sudden. It took centuries. Slowly, quietly, the great cities began to shrink. People moved away from the urban centers and out into smaller rural settlements. But why? There was no catastrophe forcing them out. The land was still fertile in many regions. The trade networks were still intact. They chose to leave. And this is the detail that changes everything. Because it means this was not a collapse, not a disaster, not an extinction. It was a decision. 5 million people across 2 million square kilometers over the course of several centuries collectively walked away from everything they had built. No other civilization in human history has done this. Rome fell because it was torn apart. The Maya collapsed under drought and warfare. The Egyptians were conquered. But the Indus Valley people, they just left. And where they went, we do not know. Their writing remains unread. Their gods remain unknown. Their language is silent. We know they existed. We know they were brilliant. We know they built something the ancient world had never seen before. And we know that one day, they chose to walk away from all of it. The question that no archaeologist has ever been able to answer, the question that has haunted this mystery for 100 years, is why. 5 million people, the most advanced civilization of the ancient world, gone without a word. Whatever the Indus Valley people knew, whatever drove them to abandon everything they had built, they took it with them into silence. And that silence has never been broken. If you think you know what happened, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this is the kind of history they never taught you in school, subscribe to Ancient Veils, because this is only the beginning.